Good evening, and thank you for joining us to recognize and honor our Kansas chapters and regions, highlighting community service. We bring this presentation to you due to the cancellation of our state conference in April. The chapter regions and chapter members are the pillars for the foundation of our society, working daily to expand the mission of DAR in our communities and to help support the visions of our President Generals and state regions projects for the betterment of our society. I am Rebecca Klein, State Vice Regent, along with Susan Metzger, our State Regent. Today, we also have our district directors, Virginia McNett, Southwest, Sherry Smith, Northwest, Becky Spalding, Northeast, and Donna Roberts, Southeast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show as we welcome home the chapter regions. 13 chapters comprise over 40 counties in the district for a total of 541 members spread across a vast landmass in northwest Kansas. These daughters compile an impressive 26,195 service hours in 2019. The Northwest District Director, Sherry Smith, will present chapter regions. Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Ms. Klein. And I'm proud to introduce the daughters of Western Kansas, Abilene D. Marshall Regent. Their chapter presented a donation of $1,000 for the refurbishing of Abilene's Little Ike Park, a site that honors President Eisenhower's youth. Members participated and provided recognition, volunteer hours, and monetary support to the Chapman Historical Museum and the preservation and renovation of a historic cemetery, as well as the program and services offered by their local Chamber of Commerce. Their chapter also bestowed significant scholarships, as well as providing monetary support to 2 area individuals offering educational programs portraying Abraham Lincoln and Rosie the Riveter. Arthur Barrett, Susan Edamalaki Regent. Arthur Barrett gets giddy with lots of things when they are at nursing homes, helping residents, or in the classroom with kids, making cards for veterans near the 4th of July and at Christmas. Glitter, sparkly stars, ribbons, and colored markers can turn an ordinary card into a work of art that makes the artists, both young and old alike, delight at their creations and bring a smile to the veterans that receive them. Arthur Barrett is proud to have been selected the first place winner of the NSDAR American History 400th Anniversary of the Mayflower category for their chapter's educational presentation to local 5th through 8th grade students. Courtney-Spalding, Diana Crouch Regent. The chapter hosted a dessert table of homemade goodies at the overnight stop in Hill City for the annual Bike Across Kansas event, helping to feed over 800 riders. Members hosted a table at the annual Fort Hays State University's Back to School picnic, offering DAR and SAR membership and scholarship information, as well as handing out free ice pops. For the 4th year, the chapter celebrated DAR Day of Service by presenting our area first responders with goodie bags. Members volunteered at local food pantries, historic sites, foundations, churches, museums, schools, and libraries. Desire Tobey Sears, Haley Popelka Regent. Members helped make 4 fleece blankets for Connor's Cuddles with participation from chapter members, CAR and SAR members, and a HODAR. Christine Strutt of Belleville, Kansas started Connor Cuddles in memory of her teenage son who lost his battle with cancer. The purpose is to bring smiles and comfort to other children fighting cancer by giving them their very own blanket made with love. These blankets have been shipped across the United States and overseas. Members practiced conservation and donated their time and talents to their churches, schools, libraries, and museums, as well as to seniors in their communities and in nursing homes. Goodland, Jane Philbrick Regent. Goodland marked their 60th chapter anniversary with continued support of their communities. Members shared their time and talent by serving as church pianist, playing in the bell choir, facilitating craft and sewing groups, and providing Bible study for elderly shut-ins. Chapter members practice conservation, worked with the Sherman County Historical Society with the restoration of a historical building, and at a home-owned carnival to promote community activities for youth. Members also assisted with the Run for the Wall. The chapter purchased a desk for the Parker Holbrook Research Center for use by individuals performing on-site research. John Athey, Gail Bremen Camp Regent. The chapter supported their communities in several ways, including a member who made flannel quilts and burp rags for new mothers, as well as teaching them sewing skills. Members were outstanding in recycling and water conservation. Daughters planted flower beds and containers to promote pollination. One member researched and planted a straw bale garden, a method which produces a garden area on sites where no fertile, plantable ground exists. Members made personal visits to shut-ins, wrote cards, and made visits to nursing home residents, served funeral dinners, and helped transport older community members to healthcare appointments. Jonathan Gilbert, Susan Keith Regent. Jonathan Gilbert proudly supported the Ness County Historical Museum and the McCracken Historical Jail Museum, both financially and in volunteer capacities. Their members provided the area with valuable historical preservation for the community, as well as promoting visitors to the area. Jonathan Gilbert Regent Susan Keith is a music instructor who assists with community events in her local school, including singing Valentine's and Christmas caroling programs featuring the Ellsworth Singers. This service to the community has a long-standing tradition, and it's in its 20th year. Major Elijah Hyde, Julia Hoke Regent. The Major Elijah Hyde chapter celebrated their 25th chapter anniversary in 2019. Originally organized as an NSDAR chapter on Constitution Day, September 17, 1994, the chapter continued their long tradition of promoting Constitution Week throughout their area with radio ads and print coverage, as well as displays in a variety of local settings. Throughout the years, members provided support and service to their community and churches, serving as greeters, preparing and serving food at funeral and Lenten lunches and dinners. Mary Wade Strother, Melissa Stuchlik Regent. Chapter members supported their community through collection of items for the Domestic Violence Association of Central Kansas and Salina. Conservation was promoted with collections for the newly opened recycling center in Salina, and the chapter held a work day at a local cemetery, cleaning headstones and trimming landscape. A member supported her neighborhood and community by placing a public book sharing box on her property. The chapter sponsored a professional genealogical speaker and hosted a program open to the public on headstone preservation. Nathan Edson, Gina Walters Fancella Regent. Nathan Edson hosted a dedication ceremony and reception for the Anna Laura Hill DAR plaque placed at the recently erected statue of Miss Hill located in Concordia. They are proud that this event received second place honors in the NSDAR Commemorative Events Miscellaneous category. Nathan Edson also was honored to have chapter member Jody Bashan recognized as the 2019 Kansas Outstanding Junior. The chapter hosted a book signing with Nelson Peterson, author of Selfies with Sacagawea. Outreach speakers spoke at community organizations and utilized newspapers and radio to promote DAR, as well as their chapter and their projects. Their daughters set up window displays, completed conservation projects, and decorated Christmas trees for nursing homes. Polly Ogden, Laura Renfro Regent. Members were actively involved in service to God, home, and country during 2019. Their chapter presented a Terry Healy Scholarship funded by member donations. They partook in Service to America Day, creating goodie bags for female soldiers and made gift baskets with homemade cookies for their area firefighters and police. Their daughters distributed over 1,000 U.S. flags and copies of the Constitution and dressed up for presentations at local schools. Their service to the community continued with wreath laying for memorial services and presenting medals to ROTC women in both high school and college. Daughters donated library books and shared their time and talents with nursing home residents. Sarah Steward, Carolyn Peterson Region. Members gave presentations to the junior and senior classes at both Kensington High School and Smith Center High School, and it was about the purpose and the mission of DAR and SAR. They included information on why the poppy was chosen to represent veterans and gave the history and meaning of the American's Creed. Sarah Stewart and Smith County have a strong and long history of supporting veterans on Veterans Day. Throughout the year, members volunteered at blood drives, supported their schools, museums, and churches. Smoky Hill, Jean Plett Region. Members supported their schools, churches, hospitals, libraries, and museums by volunteering their time, preparing and serving dinners, serving as ushers and liturgists, and helping with school programs and serving on boards. The chapter spent their DAR Day of Service helping to plan a new display room at the local library and local museum in Ellsworth. This early day law office room will include a large desk that was used by an Ellsworth attorney. The chapter traced the desk's current location to California, from where it is now being shipped back to Ellsworth to become the focal point of the room. Smoky Hill Daughters continued to search for other original items, such as law books, bookcases, and even a spittoon to complete this exhibit. Way to go, Northwest Daughters.
It has been a pleasure to recognize the outstanding achievements of the Northwest District chapters. Thank you, Ms. Smith, for introducing them. With over 1,200 members in the Northeast District and 19 chapters, surrounding communities benefited from service hours totaling 73,271. 6 of the chapters were involved in one cemetery restoration and preservation. Becky Spalding, Northeast District Director, will introduce the chapter regents. Mrs. Spalding.
Thank you, Mrs. Klein. Atchison Chapter, Carrie Anderson Region. Chapter members participated in the local Veterans Day Parade. Member Donna Parrish presented a program to the Hiawatha Historical Society on an ancestor who has been DAR memorialized in Maine for painting the Patriots at the Boston Tea Party. Betty Washington, Diane Meyer, Regent. The chapter made birthday boxes for local veterans and nursing homes and made snacks for the Baldwin Police and Fire Departments. Several members helped out their neighbors by picking groceries and cleaning up their garden beds. Captain Jesse Leavenworth, Charlotte Hoveder, Regent. In preparation for the 100th anniversary of the Leavenworth Veterans Day Parade, chapter members cleaned the Doughboy statue in front of Leavenworth City Hall. The chapter presented bronze JROTC medals at Leavenworth High School at the Spring JROTC Awards Evening. Ephraim Baser, Jean Pinnock, Regent. Chapter members cleaned gravestones at the Davenport Cemetery, where a couple of Civil War soldier stones, of which 2 are brothers. 3 350-pound pallets of dog and cat treats were delivered to the Unleashed shelter in Overland Park. James Ross, Susan Cornelison, Regent, celebrated their 110th anniversary. They volunteered at the Wyandotte County Historical Museum and aided the staff in sorting old newspaper articles that had been donated to the museum. John and Hattie Possum, Pamela Kelly, Regent, members performed cleanup at the DeSoto Cemetery. They participated in many projects for both DAR and the VFW, including many hours locally in DeSoto and at the Eisenhower VA Hospital in Leavenworth and the DeSoto, Kansas Food Pantry. John Haupt Chapter, Judy Ryder, Regent. Members served veterans at the VA Christmas Tea, presented a JROTC medal and a Constitution display at the Meriden Ozaki Library, and handed out preambles at the Ozaki Festival. They celebrated the 70-year membership of Elizabeth Hazlitt. Mission Hills, Martha Gunn, Regent. Chapter members donated 75 items to the Learning Club of Kansas City. They also volunteered at Shawnee Mission Community Services by making weekly food bags for families by sorting and bagging bread along with other foodstuffs to replenish the pantry shelves. Olathe, Kathy Hayes, Regent. Chapter members adopted the historic Olathe Cemetery and have performed multiple projects for them, including painting their wrought iron fence, cleanup, gravestone maintenance, and decorating. They also decorated their annual historic tour, which highlights the rich history of many notable Olathians. Prairie Flint Hills, Dixie Cravens Region. Members helped pack backpacks at Harvesters, set up a Constitution Week display at local stores, handed out over 100 pocket constitutions to community members, donated items to Haskell University, added flags of the United States of America on veterans' graves throughout 3 counties, and cleaned out Echo Cliff in Dover. Prairie Rose, Gale Grape, Regent. The chapter collected 96 essential items for Safe Home, a facility for domestic abused women and children. Members and one HODAR, along with other Northeast District members, hosted a Salute to Veterans reception for veterans of the Dwight D. Eisenhower VAMC in Leavenworth, Kansas. Several members assisted with the cleanup and gravestone cleaning in Linwood Pioneer Cemetery. Quivira Crossing Chapter, Cindy St. John, Regent, had the honor of presenting Vietnam veteran pins and certificates to 32 veterans and 2 surviving spouses of the Delta Company B, Red Warriors, during their 50th reunion. Sarah Bender organized chapter members to help make 75 boo bags for her independent project for her members course. Each bag contained a personal note of appreciation, candy, and stickers. Sagamore, Janet Alley, Regent. Their service project included the cleaning and beautification of Linwood Pioneer Cemetery. Members cut tree limbs, pruned shrubbery, raked debris, swept, painted, picked up trash, dug up large irises and replanted them, planted mums, hauled water for those mums, trimmed grass around grave markers, and cleaned the grave markers. This project will continue into the following year when the weather is above 60 degrees. Samuel Linscott, Tina Brucken, Regent. The Samuel Linscott chapter presented programs honoring Purple Heart recipients from Jackson County. Some are relatives, some are neighbors, all are heroes. Shawnee Mission, Laura Kaiser, Regent. Chapter members conducted a large clothing and toiletry collection for the women veterans at the Eisenhower VA in Leavenworth. They collected items with a total value of over $690 for the women vets, ranging from pants, shirts, bras to brushes, toothbrushes, and deodorant. 3 Trails West, Eileen McKeag, Regent. The chapter continued their tradition of providing snacks for over 60 teachers and staff at Stillwell Elementary School as a thank you for their dedication to children. One primary fundraising effort was a chapter garage sale. The proceeds helped for funding of various projects, and the remaining items that didn't sell were donated to multiple charitable organizations. Tomahawk, Barbara Butler, Regent. In keeping with this year's NSDAR focus on the 19th Amendment and women's issues, the chapter elected to adopt a different group each month and support them by contributing personal care items, socks, books for children and adults, or staples to that specific group. Topeka, Becky Spalding, Regent. The chapter hosts monthly birthday parties at the VA hospital for the residents and have donated blankets and supplies to the New Mothers program for veterans. They planted an oak tree for the 54th year in a row at Washburn University and are planning for their 125th chapter anniversary in 2021. Wyandotte, Patricia Grunke, Regent. The Wyandotte chapter awarded 2 ROTC medals and certificates to cadets at Washington High School. They participated in Constitution Week by creating a display for the Bonner Springs Library. They also made contributions to the Haskell Indian University and Wreaths Across America.
Thank you, Ms. Spalding, for introducing these outstanding chapter regents of the Northeast District. The Southeast District spreads over 23 counties with 487 members in 14 chapters. These mighty members gave 27,672 service hours to their communities. Donna Roberts, Southeast District Director, will introduce the chapters. Ms. Roberts.
Co-Chief Linda Johnson Reed hosted Catherine West's last chapter visit as Kansas State Regent. Flags and flag codes were distributed to 300 fourth graders, and they rang church bells for Constitution Week. The Cherry Street Youth Center was toured and given their much-needed items. Council Oak and Ott Regent. They made snack bags for 20 wounded warriors and 20 boat captains during a Wounded Warrior fishing tournament. They also donated 10 desserts for this special event. They hosted a public meeting at the Senior Center with a program on Alzheimer's disease. Emporia, Angela Anderson Regent, presented a Good Citizens Award to a new high school in their county. They celebrated being instrumental in organizing the Lynn County Historical Society in 1937. DAR flags were presented and placed on the gravesides of their daughters on Memorial Day. Esther Lowry, Shirley Rasmussen, Regent, reopened their DAR room after the restoration project was finished in the Independence Historical Arts Center. They dressed in Revolutionary War attire, told of the many artifacts and treasures in their room. Four Winds, Donna Roberts Regent, celebrated their 50th chapter anniversary with Kansas State Regent Susan Metzger as guest speaker. They bought stuffed dogs and donated funds for the Kansas CAR President's Service Dog Project. Gift cards and gifts were given to veterans on Veterans Day and Christmas. The chapter's $500 scholarship was awarded again. General Edward Hand, Susan Davis Regent, continues preservations in the Pioneer Cemetery at the Natural Prairie in Baldwin City, the First Bank in Wellsville, and the pillars at the Ottawa Indian Cemetery. Members took part in Wreaths Across America locally and at the Leavenworth National Cemetery. Isabel Weldon, Jamie Barton Regent, made items and collected toiletries throughout the year for Fort Dodge and the Bob Dole Veterans Administration Medical Center. Members and their families participated in the Wreaths Across America. Volunteer hours continued to grow. Jane D. Coffey, Janet Tarter Regent, welcomed Catherine Walker West, Kansas State Regent, and she spoke on the importance of membership and the 250 task force. Wreaths were placed in 3 cemeteries in December. Christmas cards were sent to the Veterans Hospital. Meredithine Chapter and Benton Regent presented community service awards to the Lewisburg's Blessings in a Backpack program to help feed hungry children and aid in their ability to learn better. Always and Forever Midwest Animal Sanctuary also was presented a community service award for saving the lives of over 700 cats and dogs. Molly Foster Berry, Barbara Ritter Regent, commemorated Flag Day by handing out 150 flags. They sewed and donated 39 quilts to local people in need. At the naturalization ceremony, they gave out 200 pocket constitutions, toiletries, and items were collected for the Fort Dodge Soldiers Home. Oceanus Hopkins, Linda Schultz Regent, participated in the naturalization ceremony at Fort Scott, Kansas. Their service project was cleaning their DAR service marker south of Pittsburgh. Christmas cards were signed and small toiletries were donated to the Robert Dole Veterans Hospital in Wichita. Pele Gordon, Patricia Gaddy, Regent, awarded their Good Citizen and scholarship to a local senior for her presentation on the history of the American flag on Flag Day. Cards were sent to St. Jude's Hospital for Children. The service project consisted of tote bags with small items for nursing home residents. Sarah French Putney, Nancy Gordon Regent, held a fashion show featuring fashions throughout the decade to fund Wreaths Across America. They honored students who participated in the American History and the Good Citizen contest. 2 community service awards were given to volunteers. Where the trail divides, Linda Combs Regent made over 100 pillowcases for the Lansdowne Medical Center in Germany. Manufacturers' coupons were sent to 1 base in Guam and 2 in Japan. Cancel stamps were collected for the disabled veterans, and pop can tabs were collected for the Ronnie McDonald House. I'm very proud of all of you ladies. Thank you.
Ms. Roberts, thank you for your introductions of the hardworking chapters of the Southeast District. The Southwest District is comprised of 16 chapters with approximately 700 members scattered over 27 counties. Membership numbers range from 23 to 95 in the chapters depending on the region of the district. Each district is unique to its section of Kansas, whether in rural or urban surroundings. Members in their communities performed over 27,000 hours of service. Virginia McNett, Southwest District Director, will present the chapter regions. Mrs. McNett.
Thank you so much for that. The Southwest District first is Bird Pruitt, Lola Caraway Regent. This Ulysses chapter dedicated itself this last year to organizing genealogy workshops in the fall to help more ladies join them. They have steadily been adding new members to their chapter, including they're good friends with the Cimarron River Valley. Leslie Bissell, Regent. The ladies of the Cimarron River Valley celebrated the 2019 DAR National Day of Service by cleaning our Pancake Day Museum in Liberal. The museum commemorates the running of the International Pancake Day race between Liberal, Kansas and Olney, England. They have done this every year since 1950. The Dodge City chapter, Diane McElwain, Regent. These ladies have gathered and delivered donations for the Crisis Center and CASA, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, which serves women and children in 10 area counties. Eunice Sterling chapter, Mary Kuhn, Regent. On a rainy October morning, 7 members of this Hutchinson area chapter met at the Mulvane Cemetery to place a DAR grave marker on the grave of Judy Johnstone, one of their most dedicated members. It was a wonderful, wonderful service. Flores del Sol, Cynthia Sprinkle, Regent. To celebrate the DAR National Day of Service, these ladies created fidget quilts for people with dementia who are in the Robert J. Dole VA in Wichita. They are also planning on adopting a female service member and having a program in November on the families who came across on the Mayflower. Sounds exciting. The Fort Larned chapter, Virginia Bayard Regent, in order to help their friends in the VFW of Larned, the ladies of this chapter celebrated the National Day of Service by serving dinners to folks who attended a fundraising event designed to make enough money to help the VFW stay open. The Kanza chapter, Barbara Grimmett Regent. The 2 graduating seniors there, Caleb Hildebrand of Stafford High School and Ellie Bowman of Maxville High School were honored by the Kanza Chapter Chair, Silva Scholes, at a chapter meeting with Alda Hildebrand, aunt of Caleb, and Jean Bowman, the mother of Ellie. Each was presented a DAR honor certificate and a DAR pin signifying dependability, leadership, service, and patriotism. Way to keep it in the family, Kansas. Little Arkansas, Pam Brillhart, Regent. For the National Day of Service, this chapter collected socks to send to the Robert Dole VA Hospital in Wichita. Martha Loving Farrell, Betty Sullivan, Regent. For their National Day of Service, the ladies of the Martha Loving Farrell Chapter of Wichita presented 50th anniversary certificates and pins to Vietnam War veterans. The Martha Vail Chapter, D. Sadler, Regent. To serve their community for the National Day of Service, the Martha Vail ladies chose to recycle plastic bags by knitting them into portable sleeping mats called plarn for the homeless. They also presented a community service award to the Attica long-term care personnel who created a community garden for the residents. Mary Draper Chapter, Deborah Miller, the Regent. These ladies greeted Honor Flight number 76 returnees, August 4th, Honor Flight number 77 2 weeks later, and Honor Flight 78 November 1st, and presented American flags to the honorees returning to the Eisenhower Airport in Wichita. Newton Chapter, Jerry Schrag, Regent. Newton ladies celebrated their DAR chapter's 115th anniversary by throwing a chapter birthday party, lunch, and membership workshop with Lee Cox and Dee Sadler. The Randolph Loving Chapter, pictured here, Vicki L. Churchman, Regent, for the 2019 National Day of Service. Randolph Loving members of the Wichita area put together birthdays in a bag to be donated to the local food bank to provide a small birthday party for children whose parents cannot afford them. Each birthday in a bag came in a birthday-themed gift bag and contained similarly decorated plates, napkins, forks, and balloons, as well as a box of cake mix and a can of icing. The Uvedale Chapter, Kristen Oldham, Regent, who is actually wearing the butterfly wing. The Uvedale ladies tagged monarch butterflies during Monarch Mania at the Quivira National Wildlife Refuge for their DAR, National Day of Service. In the Wichita Chapter, Jane Foster, Regent, for their National Day of Service, the Wichita Chapter delivered pocket-sized Constitution to the Andover Middle School. And the William Wilson Chapter, Dixie Drake, Regent. Excuse me. The William Wilson Chapter, NSBAR, celebrated the 5th National Day of Service by decorating cookies at a ranch house assisted living center in Garden City, Kansas. There they are. On October 28, 2019, the mother of 2 of our members is a resident there, and they helped organize the event. The ranch house provided the cookies, and we provided the icing and decorations. 5 of our members were able to attend and enjoy the fun.
Mrs. McNett, thank you for your introductions, and thank you, Chapter Regents, for your accomplishments during this past year. This includes the celebration of our Kansas chapters. Thank you, Madam Regent, for being with us this evening. We hope you have enjoyed this presentation and perhaps you have gained new ideas to share with your chapter membership. Thank you for your presence as the first virtual celebration of our Kansas chapters. Make plans to join us in the Spring State Conference, April 2021, for another Regent celebration.